India's tragedy worsens. Over 3,000 die in a single day. From Gujarat to Haryana, queues for cremations. Official data completely contradicting the burning pyres. Oxygen supply stabilizes in Delhi but not in the NCR region. From Agra, the truth of no oxygen shortage claim by the UP Chief Minister. May Day as vaccinations for all from 1st of May, but most states say they do not have stocks to even begin from the 1st of May. COVID portal concerns as lots of glitches at the launch. Covishield, meanwhile, the price cut down by 100 rupees by Serum Institute. Netas, they simply are not learning. Look at these Telangana rally pictures. Dead candidate's wife in West Bengal files a case against the poll panel. Major earthquake in Assam, 6.4 on the Richter scale. Cracks emerge in the paddy fields at the epicenter. Thankfully, no lives are lost. But markets, they seem to be up, back at nearly 50,000. They gained nearly 3% in 3 days. Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV 24/7. I'm Sonal Mehrotra Kapoor. Our top story tonight is obviously the numbers and the death figures really drawing an extremely grim picture. The total number of death count, let's look at that first, 3,60,960. The death toll in just the past 1 day is over 3,200 at this point. Overall death toll is over 2 lakhs in the country. This is the 7th consecutive day when India has reported over 3 lakh cases. But what about vaccination? Well, you see that graph going up, but still not enough. Vaccinations in the last 24 hours are 25,56,182, but the pace still not enough to catch up with the spread of the virus. WHO has now said that the India COVID variant has been found in 17 different countries. And the worst picture at the moment is of the weekly death rate. As India crosses another grim milestone, this time 3,000 deaths. And what is worrying is that the weekly death rate is constantly on the rise. Experts say that approximately a 2-week lag between the cases and the deaths. So the graphic that you're seeing right now could actually be going up. This blue line that you're seeing on cases and the yellow line at the moment, both expected to actually go up as the cases continue to rise, and the number of lives you're going to lose to this virus also expected to increase. And when it comes to the oxygen crisis in the country, there was some help that came from the Prime Minister. He has now said that 1 lakh portable oxygen concentrators will get kicking quite soon, and about 500 more PSA oxygen plants will also now get underway under the PM Care Fund. The oxygen concentrators and plants so necessary at this point.
ये लिख के दिया है, उन्होंने खुद लिख कर दिया है, ये पर्चा उन्होंने दिया है कि गैस लेकर आओ। हर 3-4 गैस स्टेशन के पास गए हैं लेकिन नहीं मिल रहे, यहाँ पे खड़े हुए हैं। ये वंतिका का पर्चा जी पूरा।
Hundreds of people waiting for hours in the hot sun, hoping to refill oxygen cylinders in Ghaziabad steel compound. 500 people have been given numbers, but only 50 cylinders filled in the last 6 hours. Some are from Delhi, some from Meerut, all slowly losing hope as they wait and wait.
कल शाम से हॉस्पिटल में ऑक्सीजन नहीं है। हॉस्पिटल 2 बार बोल चुका है अपना पेशेंट ले जाओ या ऑक्सीजन ले आओ। सुबह 7 बजे से यहाँ पे खड़ा हूँ।
कहाँ पे? गाजियाबाद में।
मेरठ से आया हूँ मैं।
हमारे जी पड़ोसी हैं आंटी जी, उनको कोरोना हुआ है, वो उनको एक मिनट भी के ऑक्सीजन नहीं उतार सकते हैं।
एक मिल जाए तो माता जी के थोड़ी देर के राहत मिल जाती है, बस इतना। हम इंदिरापुरम से आए हुए हैं।
While police watch over the queues to prevent any fights, people waiting say the VIPs are taking oxygen out of turn.
5 घंटे हो गए खड़े हुए हैं, ऐसे VIP ट्रीटमेंट चल रहे हैं यहाँ पर, विच इज़ नॉट नाइस। ऑक्सीजन अगर आप फ्री में दे रहे हैं तो फ्री का मतलब चैरिटी वर्क है, इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि आप मतलब भीख दे रहे हैं किसी को।
If there is such a shortage at Ghaziabad filling plant, one wonders what the situation is in remote areas of the state. Ravi Ranjan Shukla from Ghaziabad, Revati Hariharan for NDTV.
This as the UP administration and the Chief Minister continues to say that there is no shortage. But look at this next story coming in from Agra, where private hospitals were talking about lack of oxygen. On one side, there were people jamming up the road as the outrage was growing, with people crying out that there was no oxygen being provided to them, and relatives alleging that a lot of people died due to lack of oxygen. And this, as administration continues to say, well, everything is all right and everything is hunky-dory. Now, some shock really came in from Agra as well, where we almost saw a scuffle break out.
The city of love has come to this. Despite the UP Chief Minister's claim that there is no oxygen shortage in the state, a lot of private hospitals in Agra are running low on oxygen, and worried relatives have gathered outside.
लास्ट मूवमेंट में बताया जा रहा है, लास्ट मूवमेंट में बिल्कुल जिन लोगों को हैवी है ना, उनको ही मौका नहीं दिया जा रहा है कि वो फ्लोर पर
There are many mourners at Agra's Shahid Nagar Upadhyay Hospital. Ansh lost his mother even after managing to get a remdesivir injection for her from the black market for 40,000 rupees.
डॉक्टर है, उसका लाइसेंस कैंसिल करवाओ सर, मेरा आपसे निवेदन है सर। मैं उषा गोयल, मेरी मम्मी चली गई इस हॉस्पिटल वालों कहीं से, इसका लाइसेंस कैंसिल करवाओ। मेरी मम्मी 21-22 तारीख से एडमिट थी।
यहाँ पे कोई ऑक्सीजन नहीं है, सुबह से हम लोग कल से इनफैक्ट भाग रहे हैं, कल सुबह 6 बजे से हम लोग सब लोग परेशान हैं। यहाँ पे कोई टैंकर कुछ भी नहीं है, हमारे मरीज मर रहे हैं रोज।
Ramveer Yadav has been in hospital for the past 16 days. His relatives are worried.
आपका क्या नाम है?
सरकार की नौकरी की है
बताइए।
और छोटे बच्चे हैं, कहाँ ले जाओ?
कहाँ के रहने वाले हैं?
वो तो उनका बेटा पुलिस में नौकरी कर रहा है, वो नहीं आ पा रहा है इलेक्शन की ड्यूटी करके।
कहाँ के रहने वाले हैं?
शुकाबाद के।
कितने दिन से
ड्यूटी में लगा हुआ है, वो नहीं आ पा रहा है।
Agra needs 37.5 tons of oxygen. On Monday, it got 3.5 tons from a Mathura refinery, and on Tuesday, another 10 tons.
जैसा आप पीछे देख रहे हैं, जो हमारे 6 मेजर हॉस्पिटल्स हैं जिनके पास लिक्विड ऑक्सीजन होता है, यहाँ से हम उसको भेज करके उनके टैंक में भरवा देंगे अभी। इसके अलावा एक और हमारी 16 MT की ट्रक जो है मोदी नगर से पिछले 2 घंटे पहले निकल चुकी है स्टार्ट करके।
देश में इसके पहले कभी भी इंसान की जान बचाने के लिए इतने बड़े पैमाने पे ऑक्सीजन की जरूरत नहीं पेश आई थी। भले उसके लिए पर्याप्त ऑक्सीजन हो, लेकिन उसका ट्रांसपोर्टेशन एक बहुत बड़ा मसला है, जिसकी वजह से बड़े पैमाने पे उसकी किल्लत बरकरार है। आगरा में नसीम और कैमरामैन राजेश गुप्ता के साथ कमाल खान, NDTV इंडिया।
It's so visible, the tragedy all around us. We wonder why the UP government is not really waking up to this and at least acknowledging the problem to start with. But also today was the day when the registration opened up for Vaccine for All, as they will begin on the 1st of May. A quick update on where the numbers stack up at the end of day 1 of registration at least. Well, some clarification there came in from the head of the Covid portal, and he pointed out, that's R.S. Sharma, that at the end of the day, most of the registrations happened towards the last 3 hours, and they managed to do over 79 lakh registrations on day 1. And most of them happened between the age group of 18 to 45. He also acknowledged that most of these happened towards the later part of the day, as the server simply could not take the load when they initially started out at around 4 p.m. in the afternoon. At the launch time as well, the CoWIN website had completely crashed. There were about 27 lakh hits, and they became just too much to handle for the CoWIN portal altogether. Several glitches were reported from across the country. One was that the server was simply crashing and people were not being able to access it. OTP is also taking much longer. Glitch number 2 was actually that 18 plus registrations, it did not say open in that category. There were several categories open, but not for those above the age of 18. And then there was difficulty in finding centers as well. So if you were putting in your PIN code, it was not showing any centers with vaccines around you. Social media was above with all these issues, but some did manage to get their registrations done, and the process is expected to sort of streamline a little in the coming few days. The good news of the day, or perhaps if you can call it that, came in from the Serum Institute of India, which decided to cut down the price of their vaccines to states. They cut it down from 400 rupees a dose to 300. Effective immediately, Adar Poonawalla tweeted and said that it's a fantastic gesture from his behalf, and saying that he has brought it down and it will save thousands of crores to state funds going forward and enable them to use it in other ways, and it will also save several lives. But remember, this is still quite high, in fact double than what it costed to the center, which was just 150 rupees a dose. And questions now coming up on what happens to Covaxin. Covaxin, which is made in India by the Bharat Biotech, but much more expensive than made in Oxford. All right, moving on now. Thousands of people are dying of corona every day in the country, and the situation is so bad that there is no one to even cremate some of the dead. Pritam Singh and his colleagues in Delhi are cremating those who died at home from corona, but there is no one to take them even to the cremation ground. Some kind people came forward to help. Saurabh Shukla has this report.
फर्स्ट फ्लोर से उतारनी है, हम 2 लोग हैं, सोसाइटी वालों को बोला हेल्प करा दो, वो डर रहे हैं। क्या हमारे घर में बाल बच्चे नहीं है? 73 साल की मदर है मेरी।
2 लोगों से नहीं उठ पाएगी।
2 लोगों से बॉडी कहाँ उठेगी सर? फर्स्ट फ्लोर से नीचे उतारनी है।
तीसरा बंदा चाहिए।
हमारे को ये महसूस होता है कि यहाँ पे किसी आदमी की डेथ नहीं है, इंसानियत की डेथ हुई है। बिल्कुल इंसानियत खत्म हो गई है।
Back-breaking work, heartbreaking scenes. Pritam Singh and Devender in northwest Delhi collecting an elderly man's body for the last rites. 70-year-old A.N. Yadav died of corona last night after failing to find a bed in any hospital. His family is unable to perform the last rites as even his wife has COVID.
कोविड है मैम, घर पे सिर्फ आपकी मदर है, उनके साथ कोई है?
नहीं, अभी तो फिर सिस्टर भी है उनके पास ही।
और मदर सिर्फ अकेले हैं घर पे आपकी? मैम क्या बेड नहीं मिल पाया सर को कल?
हाँ, उनको बेड नहीं मिल पाया। हम लोग 2 दिन से परेशान हो रहे थे बेड के लिए।
As Pritam and Devender bring the body down, they have no help from the neighbors.
क्या सोसाइटी में किसी ने लिख के दिया है कि किसी और के घर पे कोरोना से डेथ नहीं होगी? किसी को सर्टिफिकेट मिला है?
Pritam and his team have so far cremated about 322 COVID patients. They don't charge the family. They even use their own ambulance.
हमें ज़्यादा जो कॉल्स आती हैं वो लोग की वो भी घरों से आती है जो अनक्लेम्ड हैं, जो गवर्नमेंट के किसी भी खाते में नहीं है कि कितनी डेथ्स हो रही हैं। तो हमें वहाँ से कॉल्स ज़्यादा आती है कि जो घर में जाके कोई भी उसकी बॉडी नहीं उठा रहा, ना एम्बुलेंस वाले जा रहे हैं, ना डिपार्टमेंट से कोई जा रहा है, एमसीडी से जा रहा है, ना किसी हॉस्पिटल से जा रहा है। तो प्रशासन भी इस पर कुछ नहीं कर पा रहा है, तो वो जाके वो बॉडीज हम उठा के क्रिमेशन के लिए लेके आते हैं।
A businessman and a photographer, Pritam and Devender from the NGO United Sikh also take bodies from Muslim families to cemeteries. This is Pritam's message.
जो हमें गुरु साहब ने सिखाया, हम उसी पच्चीनों पे चलने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि मानस जो है अवली अल्लाह नूर पाया कुदरत के सब बंदे, एक नूर ते सब जग उपजया कौन भले को मंदे.
Nobody has seen God, but today in this pandemic, people like Pritam, people like Devender, they are God for those who cannot cremate their own loved ones due to health issues because they cannot. For them, they are no less than a God. In New Delhi with Ashok Mahalle, Saurabh Shukla for NDTV.
All right, a terrible story over there, and this is the situation in several places across the country.